Hey everyone, and welcome to the Tesla Fire Challenge YouTube channel. This is day 47 of 1000. So hey, and welcome to the Tesla Fire Challenge YouTube channel. If you're new, welcome. I hope you stick around. If you've been here before, welcome back. It's really good to have you here again. For all my new viewers, this channel is all about investing money and being all in on Tesla no matter what. So join me on my journey to make $1 million in 1000 days. That's right, join me on my journey to make $1 million in 1000 days. So in today's video, I'm going to be going through the following. I'm going to be sharing my day 47 portfolio with you. I'm going to be looking at the NASDAQ and the Tesla charts to see where the price may be headed to. And I'm also going to show you how I use moving averages 200, MA200 to spot buying opportunities. So let's get into it. So it's day 47, 7th of February 2022. I've got two portfolios, Portfolio A and Portfolio B. In Portfolio A, I've just got over 120 shares. In Portfolio B, I've just got under 91 shares. So that's day 47. So in total, I have just over 211 shares in Tesla. So my ultimate target is to build my position to 300 shares. I've got here so far by dollar cost averaging and buying during the dips. I'm 70% of the way there. I've got another 30% to go. So hopefully I'm going to get there sooner than later. So that's the number of shares that I hold in Tesla. So what's been happening? So it's day 47 of 1000 and the price for Tesla is $917.50. So if I multiply that by the number of shares that I hold, which is just over 211 shares, I have a total portfolio value of $193,641.67. So just over $193,500 in my portfolio. Remember, at its peak, my portfolio was valued nearly around $250,000. It's gone down substantially, but I'm not concerned because I'm a long-term investor. I've got my eyes firmly on the future. I'm going to hold this for at least 1000 days, and my price target is $3,400. And if my calculations are correct, I should be able to make $1 million in 1000 days. So that's day 47 of 1000. So let's get into the technical analysis of things. So this is the 1 year technical analysis chart on the NASDAQ. So as you can see, I'll put the support and resistance in there. And what I'm going to do, what I do usually is zoom into it to see what's happening. So as you can see, the price has hit a resistance around the 14,100 level. So it's having difficulties breaking this resistance line. If it does break it, then I suspect price will go all the way up to MA200, which is the red line at 14,735. But it needs just some sort of a spark to take it over this resistance line. So if Jerome Powell or someone came out and said, inflation fears aren't as high as they expected it to be, and inflation is transitory, it's not permanent. If someone came out and said something like that, the markets would just jump and the price of the NASDAQ, the level of the NASDAQ would just storm up and just go through the roof. So it just needs some sort of a spark to break it out of this resistance line. If there is more doom and gloom in the market, then I suspect it's going to fall to 13,750. And then if there's more doom and gloom, then it's going to go all the way down to 13,000, which is again a fantastic buying opportunity for long-term investors. So that's the 1 year technical analysis on the NASDAQ. So let's have a look at the 1 year technical analysis on Tesla. So as you can see, I've got my long-term trend going upwards, T1, T2, T3, which have been broken. Now Tesla is in a downward trend, T4 and T5. But what I've done, if I zoom into it, you'll see that, Tesla is still forming a triangle. This is called an ascending triangle. And as you can see, the range is getting tighter and tighter. And eventually what will happen is it will pop upward. So I've seen this so many times before. It will pop upward. It just needs some sort of a good news to just break it out. But if there is bad news, then this pattern will not play out. But if there is some sort of a good news, for example, Tesla say that they're gonna, meet their expectation of full self-driving this year, then it's gonna pop out and it might even go above 1000, keep on going up. So it needs some sort of a good news like that. Tesla has been battered, so it needs some sort of a good news to just break it up. Just investors, long-term investors are just waiting on the side to hear some good news so they can get in. So that's the 1 year technical analysis on Tesla. This is the 6 month chart on Tesla. So I've analyzed this as well so you can see it more closely. So as you can see, the triangle is still intact. The price has not gone outside of the triangle. It's still inside the triangle. What I suspect, the range will get tighter and tighter, and then when some sort of a good news comes out, it's going to break out on the upside. So I'm just waiting to see what happens. So my mantra at the moment is to buy as much as possible under $1,000. So if I can get it, I can, you know, lower my or keep my cost basis lower. So, you know, in the future when the price starts to rise, I will be making more from less of my money. So I don't want to buy Tesla at $1,500. I don't want to buy Tesla at $1,400. I'd rather be buying Tesla under $1,000 because, you know, it's a fantastic company. It's a great business. It's got such a great future ahead of it. It's going to experience exponential growth in the EV space. It's going to experience exponential growth in full self-driving and autonomy. It's going to experience exponential growth in AI and robotics. So it's got so much growth ahead of it. It's going to be one of the greatest growth stories ever told. So I want to be a part of that. So, you know, as long as I can buy under 1,000, that's going to be fantastic for me. So that's the 6-month technical analysis on Tesla. So let's have a look at the RSI now. So as you can see, RSI is still trending upwards. It hasn't broken this trend line. So what I suspect is, you know, eventually it will go above the 50 level. So long as there's no bad news in the market, it will keep on rising. And then once it goes over the 50 level, the momentum will start rising. Price will start increasing quite quickly. And then, you know, it could easily break the 1,000 level. So as long as the green trend line holds, it's going to keep on going up. So momentum is building. So it just needs some sort of a news to break it out of that triangle. So that's the RSI analysis on Tesla. Let's look at the MACD analysis on Tesla. So as you can see, what I've done is I have circled the black line and the red line, and I've zoomed into it. And as you can see, a crossover is kind of imminent. It hasn't happened yet, but it is imminent. And also, if you look at the histogram, it is trending upwards, and eventually it's going to go into the positive territory. So as soon as the black line crosses the red line, the MACD histogram is going to be in positive territory, and you know that is a very bullish sign that price will continue to rise as long as there's no bad news coming. So that's the MACD analysis on Tesla. So let's have a look at the candlestick analysis on Tesla. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom into it. And as you can see, the last candlestick has a long wick on the upside and a shorter wick on the downside. So, you know, there is, you know, more buying because it broke out of the triangle, but there are sellers there. So sellers are selling. So it just needs a piece of good news to break it out of this triangle. But what I suspect will happen is, you know, the candlesticks will get smaller and smaller until we get right to the end, and then, you know, something's going to eventually happen. So that's the Tesla candlestick analysis. So what I wanted to share with you today is a new chart, and I wanted to show you how I use MA200 to lower my cost basis. So this is a chart for Tesla. It's like a 1-year chart, and what I've done is I've marked all the places where the price has hit or is very near the MA200 level. Now, if you look at this chart, all the points that I've marked vertically, you can see that if you bought at these levels, you would have been able to lower your cost basis substantially. So what usually happens is people buy near the top when there's lots of excitement, lots of optimism around the company, and you know, they buy right at the top, and then what happens? It goes down. What you have to do is you have to train your mind and think differently. So what happens when those black vertical lines appear is like there's lots of panic in the market, there's lots of anxiety, there's lots of fear, you know, the share is dropping substantially, and you kind of like doubt yourself, should I be buying this? Is this a good stock? And that is when you should think back to your thesis and think, this is a fantastic stock, I should be buying this is a great buying opportunity for me. And then normally what long-term investors and investors who have their emotions under control and can process them buy during these periods, and what they do is they substantially lower their cost basis, and you know, they can buy this fantastic company at very low prices. And then usually what happens is the price goes up, and you know, they are rewarded for being patient and persevering during times when the price is going down. So what I'm saying is use the MA200 line to your advantage. Every time the price goes towards the MA200 line, what I do is I try to buy as much as possible. It doesn't reach the MA200 line all the time. Even if it's like between the MA50 and the MA200 level, that's when I try to buy. But if it's like touching the MA200 line, that's when I try to, buy as much as possible. If it's below the MA200 line, this is when I will try and buy as much more as possible. So this is a great way to kind of time the market. It's not timing to perfection, but it allows you to lower your cost basis. So that's how I use MA200 to lower my cost base, something you should think about. So what are the key points to remember? So Tesla is forming an ascending triangle. I have seen this pattern so many times before, and what usually happens is price pops out. So what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to buy as much as possible under the 1000 level, because I know when price starts to break out, it's going to keep on going up, and I don't want to be buying Tesla at the higher levels. I want to be buying near the MA200 level because I know it's a bargain at that level. The next key point to remember is Tesla price indicators RSI and MACD are becoming increasingly bullish. The last candlestick shows no direction and the price is being squeezed, and we're just waiting for some sort of spark to move the prices up. So if there's one bit of good news, it's going to move the price up, but obviously if there's really a real piece of bad news, then it's going to go down again. So just be prepared on the upside and on the downside. So the next key point to remember is know your support and know your key support prices and key support areas. So know it like the back of your hand. So when it reaches those areas, you know what to do. You're not panicking, you're not being anxious, you're not being fearful. If Tesla drops 20% tomorrow, what are you going to do? Are you going to sell your position, or do you know what you're going to do? So I know exactly what I'm going to do if it drops 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%. As long as my investment thesis is intact, I will continue to buy, because my horizon is at least 1,000 days, and then after that I'm going to try and keep this forever and sell it when I need to fund my lifestyle. So those are the key points to remember. So what are my buying levels? So I've got my buying levels all written down here. So first it's $900, then it's $850, then it's MA200 at $814, and then under that it's $725. So those are my buying levels. So what is my plan now? So my plan is the same as usual. I'm gonna continue to dollar cost average into Tesla share and buy at regular intervals no matter what. I'm gonna keep buying at the support levels before the price pops out of that ascending triangle. So my new mantra is try to buy as much as possible under 1,000, because once it breaks the 1,000 level and it runs away, it might not return to 1,000. So just bear that in mind. And the final thing in my plan is I'm not going to sell my position. This is a forever stock for me. It's a generational company. It's going to experience so much growth in the future. It's, riding the wave on 3 S curves, and, there's tremendous growth ahead of it. So I'm in for the long run, and I don't mind the volatility now, because I know if I persevere and I'm patient, I'm going to be rewarded in the future. So that's my plan for now. So for anyone interested, I'm in the UK and I invest through a tax efficient way. So I use an ISA account. So I use an app called Free Trade. So you need to check this out. It has a very simple interface and a cheap monthly cost of £3 per month. You can buy and sell shares commission free, and there's immediate deposits from your bank account, and there's a huge variety of stocks and shares to choose from, both in the UK and the US. And what I've done for you is I've left my referral link below. So if you sign up using my referral link, you will get a free share worth up to £200. I will also get a free share too. So it's a win-win situation. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. I hope it's given you some sort of value. And join me on my journey to see if I can build my position to 300 shares. Join me on my journey to see if I can put my money where my mouth is and hold this for at least 1,000 days, and join me to see if my calculations are correct and if I can make $1 million in 1,000 days. Finally, I appreciate any likes and I'll read all your comments. I appreciate your subscription. I hope to bring you value, and I wish you all the best on your investment journey. And until the next update, have a great day and I wish you all the best.